want truth? Fine. Let me carve it out of my ribs for you. The world isn't some storybook fable where heroes win 'cause they're good. Nah, it's a slaughterhouse. You're born screaming into the stink of it, and you'll die choking on the rot. You think I'm cruel? Good. Cruelty's the only language this place speaks. I've seen it gut men alive, leave 'em hollowed out husks staring at the ceiling, wondering where the point went. You're here 'cause you're tired. I see it. That ache in your bones like you're dragging a corpse behind you. The nights where the silence screams louder than your thoughts. The mornings where sunlight feels like a betrayal. Yeah, I know that taste. Metal and ash. The kind of hunger that doesn't go away, no matter how much you bleed. Let me tell you what they don't. You don't get to quit. Not yet. Not ever. I buried my best friend in a rainstorm. Watched the dirt swallow him whole. He left a note. Ain't no light left. Bullshit. There's always light, even if it's just the matchstick glow of your own rage. You hear me? Rage. That fire in your gut when the world grinds its boot into your throat. That whisper in your skull. Not like this. You think you're broken. Good. Broken things are sharp. They cut deeper. You want to know what kept me alive when the pills ran out and the whiskey ran dry? Hate. Pure, undiluted hate for the way this cursed rock tries to break us. Hate for the lies they sell, that you're weak, that you're less. But here's the secret they'll never tell you. The void, it's afraid of you. Afraid of the way you keep breathing, keep bleeding, keep rising after every sucker punch fate throws. You're in the trenches now. The mud's up to your neck, and the ghosts are whispering. But listen, listen to the rhythm under it all. That thud in your chest. That's not a heartbeat. That's a war drum. This ain't hope. Hope's for children and fools. This is stubbornness, the kind that turns coal into diamonds under pressure, the kind that stares into the abyss and snarls. You first. So yeah, the world's a butcher, but you're the blade it sharpened itself. Now act like it. Tomorrow's a fresh hell, but tonight you breathe. You clench your fists. You remember, the darkest hour is just before the dawn, and you're the bastard who'll live to see it. You think the fall is the hard part? Wrong. It's the landing. That moment when your bones snap, and your lungs collapse, and you realize this is it. This is where the world wins. But it's a lie. A goddamn lie. I've been there, knees buried in the gravel, screaming at a sky that doesn't scream back. You ever beg for death? I have. Held a blade to my own throat, felt the edge kiss the pulse, and laughed. Not 'cause I wanted to die, 'cause I realized dying's easy. Living, that's the real war. Let me tell you about the pit. It's not dark down there. It's brilliant. A kaleidoscope of every failure, every betrayal, every you're not enough, carved into your ribs. It shines, kid. Burns so bright you forget what shadows even are. And you're just kindling. But here's the thing they don't tell you about fire. It purges. I watched my old man drink himself into a coffin, watched my sister turn into a ghost long before they buried her. You know what she told me? Last words. It doesn't get better. And she was right. It doesn't. But you do. You think strength is swinging a fist. Nah, strength is blinking. One more breath, one more step, one more day staring into the void and whispering, try harder. They'll tell you to let go, to surrender, to make peace with the rot. Fuck that. You want to survive. Claw, tear at the walls until your fingers are bone. Gnaw through the chains. Swallow the pain like it's sacramental wine. Let it burn you wholly. You're not broken. You're a wound. And wounds, they heal jagged. They scar. They remind the world what you survived. I met a woman once. Hair like rusted chains. Eyes like a shotgun blast. She'd lost everything, kids. Home. Name. You know what she did. She built a kingdom in the ruins. Fed stray dogs. Sang to the cracks in the sidewalk. That's defiance. Not some grand gesture. The quiet, ugly act of choosing to exist in a world that wants you erased. So when the night comes, and it will come, when the ghosts wrap their hands around your throat and the weight threatens to snap your spine, remember, the pit isn't your grave, it's your forge. Voice sharpens, a blade dragged across stone. The drone rises, chaotic, almost alive. You want to cry, cry. You want to rage, rage. But you don't get to kneel. Not here, not in this cathedral of suffering we call life. Stand, stand, even if your legs are pulp, even if your voice is raw from screaming. Stand like the goddamn monument you are. A tombstone for every lie that tried to bury you. Tomorrow's another battle, but tonight, you haunt. You think the storm's here to drown you. Wrong again. It's here to remind you you're still alive. That the blood in your veins hasn't gone cold. That the fire you've been choking on, it's still burning. Let me tell you about the wolf. There's one inside you. Starved, mangy, fur-matted with the shit this world's thrown at you. It's been kicked, caged, left to gnaw on its own bones, but it's alive. And when the night gets too thick, when the silence starts hissing lies, that wolf howls, not for mercy, for war. I've seen it in the mirror at 3 a.m. when the pills weren't enough to kill the memories, in the eyes of a stranger on a bus, clutching a photo like it was the last raft in the flood. That wolf, it's the part of you that refuses to be civilized, to be tamed, to roll over and show your belly to the gods of despair. You want to know what hell is? Hell is clarity. The moment you see the world for what it is, a meat grinder, chewing up dreamers and spitting out skeletons. But here's the rub, kid, you're still here after every betrayal, every funeral, every time you've had to stitch your soul back together with dental floss and spite. You're still here. You, a man once, lost his legs to a landmine. You know what he did. Learned to dance on steel. Said the phantom pain was just his body remembering what it meant to move. That's the wolf, kid, dancing in the minefield, laughing in the face of the bomb. You're not surviving. You're alchemizing, turning shit into gunpowder, grief into gasoline, every scar, a roadmap of where you've been, and a warning to whatever tries to stop you next. They'll call you mad, a fool, a rabid thing howling at the moon. Leaden, madness built empires, fools change the world, and rabid things, they bite back. When the darkness comes, and it will come, don't reach for a light. Become the light, the kind that burns, the kind that burns, the kind that leaves ash in its wake. You think you're too shattered to shine. Good. Broken glass still cuts, still reflects, still turns a single beam into 1,000 bloody stars. This ain't about winning, it's about outlasting, out-hurting the hurt, out-bleeding the wound. The world wants you to apologize for surviving. Make it choke on your sorry. I've got a secret for you. The devil's real, and he's terrified of you. Terrified of the way you keep crawling out of hell with your fists full of embers. Terrified because he knows you're not his victim, you're his competition. So let the storm rage, let the wind scream your failures, let the rain drown out the voices that say quit. You stand in the eye of it. Let the lightning see what you're made of. Tomorrow's a razor's edge, but tonight, you howl, silence, then a single distorted chord, a guitar string snapping. You want an ending? There are no endings here, only crossroads soaked in gasoline and lit with the matches of every what if you've ever choked on. I'll tell you about victory. It ain't banners, ain't applause. It's the silence after the last lie shatters. The moment you realize you've bled so much, there's nothing left to fear. I stood at the edge once, city lights below like teeth, wind hissing jump, and I almost did. But then I laughed, really laughed, because I finally saw the joke. The world doesn't want you dead, it wants you empty. A hollow thing begging for permission to exist. Well, here's my answer. I'll burn first. Let me tell you about the phoenix. It's not some pretty metaphor. It's a threat. You claw your way out of the ashes, wings still smoldering, and you scorch the earth that tried to bury you. You think you're not made for flames. Look at you. You've been on fire since the day you were born. I knew a soldier, came home with half a soul and a head full of ghosts, started a garden in the rubble of his garage, grew roses from bullet casings, said they bloom louder than the gunshots. That's the anthem, kid. Life screaming back at the void. Is that all you've got? This ain't inspiration, it's arson. You're not here to heal, you're here to ignite, to take every wound, every betrayal, every night you spent howling at the moon and turn it into a torch. Yeah, the world's a butcher, but you're the goddamn wildfire. They'll write your name in dirt, let them. You'll carve yours in the sky, with your teeth, with your nails, with the last breath rattling in your chest. You don't need wings to rise, just the refusal to rot. When the devil comes, and he will come with his deals and his velvet lies, you look him dead in the eye and say, I've already survived hell. What's your offer worth? This is the pact, the only one that matters. You don't owe the world pretty, you don't owe it sanitized. You owe it your fury, your jagged edges, your unapologetic, blood-stained yes to the ugly, brutal, magnificent act of staying alive. The sun will rise, it always does, but you're not here for the sun. You're here for the fight before the dawn, for the sweat and the grit and the teeth clenched so tight they sing. For the raw bleeding truth that you're still here, not in spite of the scars, but because of them. So when the curtain falls and the crowd shuffles home, burn the stage, leave it in cinders, let them find your footprints in the soot, and whisper, something unholy survived here. This isn't hope, it's a challenge. Take your pain, take your rage, Take the last flicker of that stubborn, stupid heart still beating in your chest and run, not towards something, at it. Collide with the world like a comet. Let the impact be your legacy. You're alive. Act like it.